walking stick you want to use to measure, was one of the greatest magicians of all time. Of all time.
Yes.
Walter cast an incredible shadow in the world of magic through his, 7 decades of performing? Is that correct? So first of all, I think we need to acknowledge that. And the other thing I think we really should acknowledge is, look around us here. There's a lot of intersecting lines, but they're not straight lines. They're lines that go in a circle. And I've already heard stories this morning, just getting up and having coffee. I heard a Fielding West told us a story about Walter, the first time he met Walter. And Keith has stories about that. But we're all here, and don't let this moment go by without realizing that this is an important moment where these circles are coming back to the starting point. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. 44 years ago, I saw Walter for the first time here at Abbott's. I already knew who Walter was. My mentor, Harry Collins, was a big fan of Walter's and a friend of Walter's, and spoke very highly of Walter. So I saw him at the Abbott's show. Now, that was the year of the infamous contest. Matt King, Jeff Hobson, and I, and they're here too, competed in the youth contest that year. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is Walter was there. He was a judge at the contest, and I'll tell you how I found this out. I don't know if it was a secret or if it was just a well-kept secret. I don't know what the policy was, but as kids, we didn't really know who the judges were. But a couple of weeks after the contest, I'm talking to Matt King, and he mentions that he got a letter from Walter Blaney. And I'm like, "You got a letter from Walter Blaney?" He says, "Yeah." I says, "Why did he write you a letter?" He says, "Well, he was one of the judges in the contest." I was like, "I was in the contest." I didn't get a letter from Walter Blaney. What did he say in this letter that he wrote to you? And I never saw the letter. I only have Matt King's word for this. So take that as you will. But anyway, Mac said, "Walter Blaney wrote me a letter saying, 'Dear Mac, I'm Walter Blaney. I was a judge at the contest, and I wanted to tell you that not to feel bad that you didn't win first place, because comedy acts never win first place in these contests. But I want you to know that I appreciated your act and what you did, and that you're on the right track, and keep doing what you're doing.'" Encouraged him. If Walter Blaney hadn't written that letter, who knows where Matt King would be today? That's what I'm saying. There's a circle coming back to complete itself. Here we are with Walter. Mac is here. I'm here. Jeff Hobson's here. You guys are all here. This is an important moment for our family. And what I suggest is, at lunch, I would love to hear more of these type of stories. Walter, we know Walter was a great magician, but the point of me saying this to you is, we all know people who have great acts who are terrible human beings. No names, please. But Walter was not. He took the time. He didn't have to write Matt King a letter. He took the time. He was here. He was Abbott's. He was the big hit of the convention. He's the big star. Here's a kid. Here's a teenager that he saw that won a prize in the. He wrote him a letter to encourage him because.
It did have his brochure in there too.
He was there. Did you ever hire him? Well, see, there's one circle that you missed. So that's all I'm saying. Just appreciate this moment, and that we're all here, and that we're all family, and that's really all I have to say. We do have one more. Oh boy, it's starting to get windy now. We do have one more. Well, speaker, I guess. It's Elvis, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's not the real Elvis. That's just the bird's name. And but, by the way, Elvis is very closely related to the Texas ooh-ah bird. You all know the Texas ooh-ah bird. Well, he's not exactly the same species, but he is a descendant of the Texas ooh-ah bird. And Elvis has, and he is in his shiny new cage, and it says Blaney right here on this top bar. And Elvis has a little trick he'd like to show you. He calls this going south. Oh, I'm sorry, Elvis. Sorry, folks. He refuses to do the trick unless the cage is covered so you can't see him. He's not very smart. Okay. No, Elvis, they can't see him. Oh, I'm sorry. Elvis says he wants to see his fans one more time. Say goodnight, Elvis.
This is so cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the building, and we all should too. I will see you at lunch. Thank you very much. Aloha, Walter. One more big hand for Walter Blaney.